Lowe's knows how to help you get the most out of your store run. That's why members save more with My Lowe's Rewards. Earn points towards My Lowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts. Plus, unlock free standard shipping when you reach Silver Key status. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Today on CityCast Philly,
we're making a lentil mushroom bolognese, roasted broccoli and cauliflower, some garlic breadcrumbs on top, olive oil cake to round out the meal.
I'm at Vetri Community Partnership at 9th and Spring Garden Streets, learning about the free cooking classes, all funded by donors and grants, happening here every other Tuesday night. At these community cooking classes, about 30 Philadelphians gather here to cook and eat. Vetri Community Partnership is a nonprofit that aims to teach us all how to make more nutritious meals. The best part of it, though, it's also making us a little less lonely. It's Thursday, February 20th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. All right, not only am I rolling up my sleeves to cook tonight, I'm also talking with CEO Maddy Booth about their mission to teach Philadelphians the importance of learning to cook healthy meals. Is the meal always the same every cooking class?
No, we try to switch it up. So for any of our community cooking nights, you may see the same menu, but that's only if you come in the same season in different years. But we try to feature items that are seasonally appropriate because obviously it makes it a little bit more economical in terms of how much things cost at the store. So we try to make it so that you're, enjoying soup in the winter and stews in the winter, and maybe we're representing some fresher, leafier greens, maybe in the spring or the summer.
Who comes up with the recipes?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have a great team filled with people who love to cook and love cooking at home and love cooking in classrooms with kids. So we do a lot of idea gathering. We do a lot of testing, and we do a lot of, determining recipes that are appropriate for us to try to adapt, and recipes that are, nutritious. So we have nutrition standards that we try to adhere to so that when folks come here to learn how to make meals with, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, they can trust that when they make it at home and they're trying to cook towards a certain health outcome or goal, they can use these recipes, with some confidence. So our whole team really collaborates on this, and we have RDs on staff who help make sure that the nutrition requirements are met.
What is an RD?
A registered dietitian. So they are really the professionals of all things nutrition. And we really defer to them on making sure that our educators are equipped to talk about nutrition with our classrooms and with our groups of folks and community members. And we have a lot of chefs on hand to make sure that it's delicious, because that is really the end goal for all of
Absolutely.
us. And for us, we want delicious and nutritious to kind of hang out in the same arena, because we believe that that's the best way to live.
Walk me through what the kitchen looks like.
The kitchen is outfitted with enough space for up to 40 folks to cook. We have 3 ranges that are, essentially what you would find in a home. They're induction top burners, ovens, and then we have a big island. So you can either cook at the island or you can go to one of the tables that usually are set up with different recipes. We often use skillets or griddles that we can plug in as well if there's not enough space at the island. And then we have a dishwashing sort of area on the other side next to the fridge, and really all the materials that we would need to cook and make a meal with 25 of our neighbors.
So once you do a class, are you like that, you get one class a month, or can you come back?
You can come back. We have had people come back for, classes on end. We've had people, take a few months off and then return. It's really just about, what works for your schedule, when you can arrive, and how it fits with your life. But we love when people return. We love when new folks join us. And it's always a little magical surprise every time folks arrive in the kitchen.
All right, it's time to walk over to the kitchen and cook. That's after the break.
What sort of promises have you made to yourself this year? Maybe get in better shape or eat healthier, save more money, travel somewhere new. What about discovering a new culture by learning a new language? With Babbel, you can do that in just a few weeks. I'm CityCast CEO David Plotz, and I'm having such a good time learning Spanish on Babbel this year. I'm taking a trip to Mexico City in the spring, and Babbel is giving me the Spanish foundation that's going to make my trip so much better. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons, handcrafted by more than 200 language experts, get you to begin speaking your new language in 3 weeks, or at whatever pace you choose. And because conversing is the key to really understanding each other in a new language, Babbel is designed using practical, real-world conversations. And one way they do that is with their own podcasts. I'm a podcast listener. I'm guessing since you're listening to this podcast, you are too. And I have been getting ready for my Mexico City trip by listening to Babbel's conversational podcasts. There's a short conversation you listen to, then an instructor talks you through what happened, and then you listen again, and then you catch everything when you listen that second time. There's also a great read-along transcript too, which I love. The one I did today was with Maria and Carmela trying to make dinner plans, but Carmela is so busy. She's way too busy with work and yoga, but finally they agreed on brunch on Saturday. Studies from Yale, Michigan State, and other universities continue to prove that Babbel works. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. So let's get more of you talking in a new language. Babbel is gifting CityCast listeners 60% off subscriptions at babbel.com/CityCast. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/CityCast. Spelled BABBEL.com/CityCast. Babbel.com/CityCast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Building a portfolio with Fidelity Basket Portfolios is kind of like making a sandwich. It's as simple as picking your stocks and ETFs, sort of like your meats and other toppings, and managing it as one big, juicy investment. Now that's pretty good. Learn more at Fidelity.com/baskets. Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
What's also interesting about this community cooking class is that you can be next to a complete stranger. I love that. That's how you can build friendships and meet other Philadelphians.
100%. Yeah, we've seen these classes really become a place where people feel comfortable and feel a sense of belonging and feel like they are welcome. We've really seen the third space kind of conversation happen here in our kitchen, where folks can come by themselves. They can hang out, if they're not really feeling the socialization, they can sort of chop their onion, but it's ultimately they're going to have to collaborate with their peers to determine when it needs to go into the pot or when it needs to be added to the dish. So there's a little bit of, innate sort of just with cooking, you have to collaborate in some way when you're cooking and eating together. But you can see that people are building friendships, building relationships. I've watched people leave here having exchanged phone numbers with somebody. We've watched people bring first dates here. We've watched folks, engage with, people from wildly different backgrounds or age ranges or circumstances to, create a delicious meal that they can enjoy together. So yeah, it's often strangers. Sometimes we have some frequent flyers, but it's often strangers who, we hope feel welcome in this space to really be themselves, to bring their talents or learn new talents, and then ultimately enjoy a delicious meal with their neighbors.
While I was cooking, producer Abby Fritz spoke with a father-daughter duo about some of the connections they've made at these cooking classes. Here's what VJ had to say.
I just love the space, and one of the things it does is bring people together. That's what Indu said she liked about today. So I was just relating the story about the last time I was here. I met Eli, and we've become good friends. And so, this was months ago that we met here and cooked together, and now we go running together and hang out together. So it's been really nice, really rewarding in multiple ways.
Who are the other cooks in the kitchen tonight?
That's a really good question. You're going to find out. We don't know. I mean, we have folks sign up and register in advance. But it really just depends who has signed up and who wants to come that day. Sometimes the classes register really, really quickly, but we always typically have, somewhere around 16 to 20 people who show up and are, excited to make a meal and enjoy a meal together. And it's also not their kitchen that's getting dirty. So I think that makes it a little bit of freeing for them.
Do we all have to clean up after?
I mean, that's ideal. We would love. And we actually do have some folks who only want to clean. That's a really interesting piece as well, where maybe they're here with their family and they're like, I stay at the sink. This is my contribution. And that's always welcome as well. But our team is also there to help support that effort. And it's a really beautiful space that folks can enjoy. It's set up so that you can enjoy cooking and you can enjoy cleaning and you can enjoy eating with your neighbors.
Jeremiah came with his mom, Cynthia, who decided to start bringing him to these classes because he showed an interest in cooking. After we sat down and ate dinner, he said he's going home with a few new recipes in his back pocket.
It was great. It was really nice. The mix of flavors, and it was a little sweet, it was a little salty, and it was great. I think my favorite thing was the mixed vegetables. I liked the garlic breadcrumbs. It crusted over the broccoli and cauliflower nicely. And I'd make the vegetables again. I'd try to make the bolognese again. I don't think I could get it just as good as it was. And I definitely try to make that cake again.
Why is this important for Philly?
I think that so often we hear that there's a lack of options and opportunities for teens and older folks in particular, but I think across the board, we've been hearing a lot about the loneliness epidemic. These classes are so important for people of all ages, but in particular, we've seen teens really needing space to come and be themselves and bring their whole selves. We've also seen, older folks who maybe are more isolated, really needing a space to have community and build community. And then we've seen multi-generational groups be able to use this space to collaborate with each other, but also with their neighbors. So obviously we have a loneliness reduction element to it. We also have really a health outcome element to it, which is reducing some of these diet-related illnesses that, we hope to counteract with folks learning how to use fruits, vegetables, and whole grains here and then in their home kitchens, and removing some of the risk associated with maybe buying an item that you've never seen your kid eat before, or a young person or an older person in your home eat before, where they can try it here. You've seen that they've liked it, and now they say, hey, can we make this at home? So we like to remove some of that risk. And ultimately, the best part about it, and I probably should have started with this, is just the amount of laughing, smiles, and joy that we see in the teaching kitchen during these community classes and really any other time groups gather, because it's just an opportunity for people to feel a little bit of levity and curiosity and build some confidence, but also laugh when they make a mistake, because really we can fix any mistake in the kitchen. So I think those are kind of the three big pieces of why these are so important. And particularly for Philadelphia, it's been wonderful to see neighbors come together and cook and eat and enjoy each other's company.
Maddy, thank you so much for joining me on CityCast Philly.
Thank you so much for having us. And please come back anytime. We love cooking and eating with our neighbors.
I ate everything, and I went home with everything too. We made enough to take leftovers home. I never had olive oil cake before. It was like the perfect sweet ending to the hearty vegetarian meal. To sign up for these free cooking classes, we'll have a link in our show notes, and let them know that CityCast Philly sent you. That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about the free community cooking class, tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter, Hey Philly, to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Friday News Roundup. Bye.